When you've made the shift over to being, allowing those pipes to be open, letting the divine flow through you, like you've turned on that alchemy setting or the divine blueprint setting, like you work for the light, you're on team light. You can feel like a target in these times. Every time you walk outside your door, it's like you're a vacuum, and all these people's projections and anger and fear is like coming onto you, like you're a magnet for it. It's sticky. And I know that sounds like from the perspective of like the high school popularity contest consciousness, like the very puffy egos, they'll project onto you that, oh, Peter, you're being egotistical, you're being a victim. Well, you know, those people like wouldn't get it because they're not turned on in that way. So they don't understand that you're trying to be loving and do a service for the planet. And they don't understand that their consciousness is co-opted. So they're operating under the influence of energies that they're not aware that are controlling them. And you're fighting against them. So you're like fighting this incognito battle like James Bond or something. Like you're a secret agent on this planet, because you just feel like it's a battlefield in these times, because you're in alchemy and we're here to transform things. Like I get the whole idea of like selling and marketing spiritual bullshit about transcending everything and being perfect, but that bores me. That bores me. We're here to transform energies. More heaven, more heaven, more heaven, transform the darkness into more heaven, release more traumas. The thing about becoming the king of the castle and planting your flag at the top of the matrix, it's just so boring, because that's one level of consciousness. Like, you think people get to heaven and they just say, oh, I'm done now, let's just have a party and be in heaven forever. What would you do, like, with your life? It's evolution, it's growth all the time. Like, ascended masters, like the higher dimensional beings that have transcended the earth matrix, they're still learning, they're still growing, they're still doing service, they're still doing light work. Light work is diving into the darkness, diving everywhere in the universe. But I fully understand the people that think you're in victim mentality, you're focusing on the negative, Peter. No, there's light and there's dark. You're either aware of it if you're not, or you're not. There's still tons of that darkness or evil or whatever you want to call it on this planet, which is just people that are projecting into the hologram all of their fear and all of their pain, because they can't confront and own and be accountable for the power of God that is in them. They're afraid to confront themselves and love themselves and realize that they're God. So they're being controlled, and it's just strange, because if you're holding the light, like real light, real divine love coming through your body, actually invites, like, it catalyzes psychosis in you. It does, like I've struggled with that my whole life. It's like a private battle, but you're unhinged from this reality all the time if you're a conduit to bring heaven to this plane. So it just doesn't appeal to me, winning the popularity contest, because anyone can do the dance to be liked by everyone and win the cultural construct contest and do all that. But it takes courage to actually, like, who can cause someone to think a new thought or catalyze them to bring out things in them. But it's hard, because when you walk outside your door, it's nonstop attack. These thought forms are being thrown at you. People are projecting their emotions onto you, like sort of like, moody 13-year-olds throwing a tantrum. That's kind of how the energies are now. So if you don't have control over your emotions and able to regulate your emotions, you will be controlled. You will be remote controlled. And most of the planet is remote controlled at this point. They ask a television screen to tell them who to be. You take the blood oath to the CEOs and big pharma. What do you expect? You handed yourself over in a way. And I get it, it's fine. They're on that path, they're on that journey, like whatever. They're in that consciousness, which is like a ceiling and a cap, where they can't understand how the game is operating. Most people are not equipped mentally or spiritually strong enough to know those things. They would lose it. They would lose their mind. They can't be shown it, because, there's just different levels of evolution. There's different levels of, so is strange because you're just sort of fighting this private battle, but you're doing it for God. You're doing it for love. But I don't know.